Alexander the Curious George back for episode 12. There's a lot of twos in this caption, in this title. Episode 12, 2022 trophies, I like to call it. Trophies of 2022, let's see. 2022, I went out on a limb and I auditioned and I applied to all the grad schools. I had this corner in my room back in Boise, okay? I applied to schools like NYU, Tisch, Juilliard. I applied to Yale School of Drama. I applied to Brown University, and Academy of Dramatic Arts, New York. And I got accepted into 2 schools. But the 2 schools that I got accepted into weren't universities, they were conservatories. One was the Academy of Dramatic Arts in New York, and the second one was Stella Adler Conservatory. I'll actually talk about the magic of my audition process in a different episode, but right now we're just talking about the recap of 2022 trophies, because the audition process was quite magical. I went to New York for the first time, and this was a time where COVID was, there was a different strain, right? Omicron had just surfaced, and live auditions that were set during that time have now changed to virtual. And I had already booked my flights to New York and Chicago, okay? So I was planning to do live auditions in New York and do live auditions in Chicago. The only one I got to do live was in Chicago for Yale University School of Drama. Okay, and oh man, New York was beautiful. My first time, and I got to experience New York with my older cousin and her husband, and I got to see, because not too long ago they had just gotten married in 2021 in the summertime, so I got to see the like the freshness of their marriage, the day in and day out. And because I'd be up early, I'd be getting ready for my audition, and they'd already be up for their work day. And ain't no snow like some East Coast New York snow. Let me tell you, that East Coast snow is no joke. Hell no, ain't no joke. Beautiful though. Beautiful. Great food. Great food. Got some fresh, lobster straight from the ocean. Had some New York pizza. Went to the city once. Went downtown. And it was just a vibe. It was cold, but it was a vibe. Ate some bomb ass ramen. Oh, so good. Turned 27. 2-7. Adding to 9. If you know about life path 9, or numerology 9, if you know what that means. But anyway, got accepted to conservatory, Stella Adler, and American Academy of Dramatic Arts. I chose to go to Stella Adler. So I was contemplating this move to LA, right? I had to decide what I was going to do. And I started paying tuition by like late March, April. Actually, I think tuition started May. May was the first tuition. I started paying tuition from May up until my first day of school, which was September of 2022. And even that, there was a whole journey between then and going and moving. Like, I enjoyed so many works of art from friends, and like I went to go watch Rashad in a play, in his first ever play, and I got to experience my friends live in concert from the very beginning, you know, and they're doing exceptionally well now, right? I got to watch my friends in Idaho Dance Theater perform their art and their dance and their craft, to see the growth from my friend Lemuel. Because we used to be just, you know, small of the totem pole dancers back in undergrad while we were still attending Boise State. Now he's a choreographer for Idaho Dance Theater. You know, the growth. To see how far we've come. To see people start new journeys, new avenues of artistic expression was amazing. Got to see SpongeBob the musical. Shout out to my boy Francisco, did amazing. And became closer with my man Neil Wiley, Mr. Chosen, who eventually became my roommate for like a month. And oh yeah, I starred in Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella, played the role of Sebastian during the summertime. Performed it in July 22nd and 23rd, I believe those. And that was a magical experience. I think I'll have to do a separate episode on that alone, because I was one of the older ones on the cast. But everybody was just so talented. You know, a lot of them were IFA students, I believe Idaho Fine Arts Academy. And shout out to my Cinderella cast. I miss you guys. Hope you're all doing well. Magical carriage ride that we made to we made our own theater outside in like the woods of Emmett, Idaho. It was if you were gonna drive from downtown Boise, which is where I lived, to Emmett, it was almost like 45 minutes to an hour. And I didn't want to tell everybody that when going to the show, but when they realized that, damn, it was 45 minutes, like 50 minutes, I wanted to make sure the show was worth that drive. And you know what? It was. It was. Everything was just magical leading up to my move from Boise to LA. Like, I didn't think I was gonna be able to be in a show. I didn't think I was gonna be able to be in Cinderella with my schedule at the restaurant. You know, my dad still really needed me at the restaurant. I was still in a state of flux, right? I was kind of like, should I do it? Should I not do it? You know, but I really wanted to, and I desired it so much that I was gonna make it happen, however possible. be it 1-2 rehearsals a week whenever I could, or just make it to an hour of rehearsal, get just a little bit of sweet time, you know. Get extra time on Sunday when before work at like 4 o'clock with the director or the choreographer, and just get in that extra time, just get in the hours, right? And I made it happen. It was a great, beautiful show, full of majesty and magic. After that, after the month of July came August, and City Company from New York they did their last city workshop in Boise, and I knew I'd regret it if I didn't do it. And at this period, I was losing servers, right? In June and July, I lost 2 of my two core servers, and I had to find help, right? This is why I didn't know whether I could do Cinderella or not. But by the grace of the universe and the grace of God, I found help. I found people to cover my shifts. I was able to find help in that time span of August, of a period of where I actually was able to step away from the restaurant and kind of be a little hands off and just kind of be an operator in a sense. So I could do City Workshop for the last time in Boise, because they had closed down. And I love City. I love City Workshop. Suzuki and Viewpoints. City Company does, these workshops around the United States or the world, and you practice Suzuki and Viewpoints. I was able to reconnect with Steven and Barney again. I took a couple years off because, pandemic and all that. But it was great to be back performing. We had to perform with masks. We had to work with masks on. But that didn't hinder a lot of the magic in that room that happened. The energy, the will, the desire. Something about a room full of humans and artists sharing the same passion for the craft as the next person, right? It's a beautiful thing. Like, you can't make this stuff up, that it was just such a beautiful send-off for me to leave in this trajectory, to go from Boise to LA, because I was getting this goodbye from Boise by doing the things that I love to do the most. After one of the workshop days, most of us, not all, but a majority of the people who did the workshop, we all went to go eat dinner at Chiang Mai. No, not dinner. We all went to go eat lunch at Chiang Mai, and planned, like, the way it was set up was just set up to be a better time, not just while we were hanging out, not just while we were doing the work in the morning and afternoon, but like in the evening. They never did this before, so I knew when they included this in the email, like, oh, let's do stuff with each other after. We don't know why we never did this in the first place, but there was more engagement this time around. And I got to engage. Like, I just knew it was special. I knew this time was special. Got to meet new friends, lifelong friends that I hope are doing well. Took them out to downtown Boise, experienced the area. Didn't get to float the river, but definitely got to swim. in one of my friends' apartment pools, but it didn't matter. It didn't matter. I left my favorite city because it's the only city that I've ever known, at least to the best of my knowledge, right? I don't know any other city more than, Boise and Meridian the best. Like, I know that city the best. Like, that's what raised me. I left it with a smile on my face. I knew it was time. I knew it was time to go. I knew it in my heart. And fast forward to September, missed the first day of school, because, man, I was supposed to move into one location, but that location ended up being a very suspect and sketchy location. So I had to like bail out of that one, find a new place. And I'm telling you, like, everything was magical leading up to me landing in Los Angeles, because literally the day before I was supposed to leave and be in Los Angeles, I had to bail out, and I had to brainstorm something. So I met up with some of my close family members and my cousins, and we sparked up, hey, how about this person? Shout out to my homie Armando. He's over there in LA. He's staying there right now. Maybe you could stay with him for a little bit until you find a place of your own. Gave him a text, and he said it was cool if I stayed there for a couple weeks. And that's exactly what happened, I had to miss the first day, rest a little bit that Monday, because I was gonna drive that night, Monday night, land Tuesday, just in time for class on Tuesday. So when I drove that 14, 15 hours on a U-Haul, towing my car, my Acura TLX, I just had that strong will and desire to be where I needed to be, and nothing was gonna stop me. I had a mission, and I had to complete it at any means cost, any means necessary. What's crazy is that I almost thought I wasn't gonna make it to class on time. I literally made it right, like 5 minutes late, okay? I arrived in LA. I wasn't able to go to Armando's house and drop off my stuff. I had to go to the U-Haul, buy a storage that I'm still renting to this day. I have bought a storage, and I moved. I thought I needed help. No one could help me. No one had enough time. This is peak traffic time too. So I had to move my mattress, move my desks, move my shoe boxes, move my weights, move my boxes of clothes. Everything that I moved into the U-Haul, I had to move out by myself. And I still made it just enough time, 5 minutes late for class on that Tuesday. And I was sweating bullets. It was a hot day. It was September in LA. And damn, it was really hard not to fall asleep, because I was just so drained, just so tired, right? And class doesn't get out till like 10:30. So by the time it was, end of class, I had to go drive to Armando's place. And that's like around 24-minute drive or whatever. And had to find parking and all that stuff. And it was so late at night. It was so late. And I just couldn't wait to shower. And it was one of the best top tier showers I've ever had in my life. Because I was an absolute mess. An absolute pile of grease. Like, if only you knew, if I was driving this U-Haul, and like there was these chains that kept on falling off of the wheels of my tires, and on the toe, the chains. There was a time where the chains kept on like scraping on the concrete. There was a guy that drove next side to me, and I thought he was gonna try and rob me or something. But then like I rolled my window down, and he told me to park over. So I parked, and we're in the middle of nowhere, and he's like, yeah, I saw sparks flying, so I think you got some like chains or whatever that are just linked, like just. This is on my way to LA, right? That nighttime that I left Boise. And then at every gas station, I had to constantly adjust my tires, the chains, you know. I even fucked up my car a little bit, taking my car off the tow. Like, it was a journey. It was a journey driving to Los Angeles on my own. Beautiful journey though. Hardships. But those are scars that I could talk about for the rest of my life. I stayed with my guy Armando and the homies. Shout out to Ahmad, shout out to Mumbo. And Bonbon, shout out to Bonbon. If it wasn't for y'all, man, y'all definitely made my experience very positive. Very blessed that I had you guys for those couple of weeks while I was with y'all. Staying in the living room on that mattress. And during this time, guys, when I was staying in that living room on that mattress, I was still dealing with some of the stuff that I was dealing with in Boise. Like, me and my dad were trying to get this loan. I can talk about this now because it's already happened, right? Me and my dad were trying to get this loan to help us out financially, and there was a time where my money was dwindling. It was getting lower and lower and lower. Okay, I was stressing, but I was making these calls every day with loan officers and my dad and making accounts online on these different loan sites to apply for, getting accepted, signing contracts and agreements, and finally, at some point, I think it took almost 2 weeks, damn near, while I was still on Armando's mattress in the living room. Like, we got the loan, we got it. It was such a huge relief off of me and my dad's shoulders. And he promised me like 15 grand to help out with school and my living situation and all that. And it was just a blessing, absolute blessing. Formed a connection and a relationship with one of the loan officers, and just talking about life, just talking about connections that he used to work with Public Enemy in the music industry, and he knows like people in the biz. He knows people in the business, in the entertainment business and all that. Things that I'm doing now, right? You just never know who you're gonna meet. You never know. And you never know who you're gonna connect with. And because of my authenticity, he liked me enough that he still keeps in contact with me to this day. He told me Happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. He calls me Champ. That's my guy. Tony, shout out to Tony. What's up, Tony? So, my last thought before I get off this thing is that another trophy is landing a job. When I got called for a job before I left Boise, and I made this interview in the middle of the week before I got there. My interview was on like Wednesday, I believe, or was it Sunday? Anyways, I got the interview for Heidi Lau Hot Pot, and I was just I think it was Sunday, Wednesday, Sunday. Anyway, landed the job. I knew I was gonna get the job on the spot, and there was a moment in time where I didn't know where I was. This city is so new to me. I had like the highest stress and anxiety I've ever had. That whole year was lots of stress and anxiety, but it was growth. It was growth. All of it was growth. And anyway, I'm at the Heidi Lau. I'm at Century City, the Westfield Mall, and this is like the nice ass outside mall. It's like the nicest mall in California, and they have this huge ass parking lot. It's a parking garage. This parking garage is massive, and I got lost in it like every day. I got lost in it this one particular day where I was literally spending damn near 2 hours trying to find my parking spot, trying to find my car in the garage, because it was so big. I didn't know where the hell I was. I eventually found the office somehow, you know. I went to the office and they got someone to help me to find my car, because they have these little mini, you know, carts that drive around, and like security and all that good stuff. So they got this Filipino man driving this car to come and help me out. And the fact that he was a Filipino man, you know, it's just kind of like, it just made me happy. It made me more, I could relate to him because he's he's Asian, another fellow Asian man. And it's just funny. He's funny as hell. The dude's hilarious, absolutely hilarious. Shout out to my guy Kiel. He's like, what's going on, man? What's up? Where's your car? I was like, man, I don't know. Well, get in the car. Come on, let's go find this thing. And we were just chopping it up, talking. He thought that I was like, what are you, man? You look Filipino. You look like like a very famous Filipino actor that I know about. You look like, I forgot his name. I'll show you when I was like, oh, really? I was like, yeah, man, you look Filipino. He's like, where are you from? He's like, oh, I'm from Laos. He's like, oh, neighbors. Till this day, we still keep in contact. Dude works a shit ton though, and it was the funniest part was that I have this running joke that I'm gonna have 5 wives. Ends up, this man has like 5 baby mamas, bro. 5 baby mamas. My man has 5 baby mamas. It was just so funny, cause when there's this moment at the office. It's like, yeah, you got 5 baby mamas. Oh, that's perfect, because you know I'm gonna have 5 wives. When I busted that out, we just started laughing in the office. There's this girl working at the counter. I didn't see her smile once, but when I said that, I finally saw a smile from her burst out. So I was like, Like, yeah, you know, it was even in that struggle, right? It was in that struggle that I knew something good was gonna come out of it. Even though I was late for class and I was in the garage, like I was texting my advisors at school saying that I'm stuck in the garage, I'm still new to the city, and I'm going to be late. So like, oh yeah, of course, you know, let us know when you get to school safe, like drive safe and all that stuff. So they know, you know, they know the deal, and that's that. And now we're here. Still a lot to be said. Still a lot to be said. Still a lot that's going to happen. Until then, 2022 was a ride. Didn't get to go home for Thanksgiving or Christmas. I had to work, but you know, had to make money, had to grind. I'll tap in on that whole audition process thing and the whole like Rodgers and Hammerstein Cinderella, because those are magical experiences you got to hear on its own episode. So until then, Alex be out. Stay curious. Till next time.